Well, yeah, I mean, you said it, Michael, to be honest. I mean, they've done amazingly well this season. Just looking at, obviously, the Premiership in itself, which obviously I watch a fair bit of, to have only lost 4 games, to be top of the log, to go to Clermont and win, to go to Bordeaux and win in Europe. They must be on nearly 30-odd games now, nearly getting close to 30 games, and to only lost 4 games is a great testament to how well Steve Borthwick has coached the team and improved the team on the back of last season. And at Welford Road, they're formidable. I mean, I can't think the last time they lost there. It's certainly been probably at least 12 months. Very proud European competitors. Strength across the board, well coached, great coaching team. So yeah, I can't speak highly enough of the work they've done.
And just in terms of the venue, it has always struck me the times I've been there as being one of the more atmospheric places. There's like a telepathy between the crowd and the team, and they both react to each other. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's one of the iconic stadiums in English rugby. I'm lucky to have been there a few times and got a taste of it, really, what it feels like. And the crowd get right behind them. And, this week will be no exception. Hopefully, we've managed to secure some tickets for some Leinster fans, because the Leinster supporters are equally passionate. They're very similar clubs in a lot of ways in terms of the way in which they've been built, on the academy and the DNA of the clubs, in terms of the hard work ethics of both clubs, and the support's play a big part in that. And I think it's going to be one of those special European games for sure. Are you concerned that that Leicester have continued playing all the way through in the Premiership, and you are maybe slightly lacking in terms of match sharpness, given the fact that the majority of the first team stayed behind and didn't travel to South Africa? It's a while since you've played together.
Yeah, no, obviously the Connacht game was the last game, that's always the risk. The challenge for us, if we had have sent everyone to South Africa, is that the team's only just least returning this afternoon. The team's only just got back, so very hard to prepare properly on the back of that. And that's one of the challenges for all the teams, and it will be for every team, who end up playing the South African teams, both in our competition but also in Europe next year. It's one of the challenges that we'll face. So we made this decision, and obviously for us, it's important to get the quality of our training right. And the right level of opposition to make sure that, as you say, we're battle hardened, match ready, and we can deliver under pressure at the highest of levels at the weekend. So we'll see come Saturday, but I take confidence from the break we had during Christmas because of the COVID. When we came back, we played well, but this is a different challenge altogether. No, they're both available.
So both of them. Justin, that was the injury update we issued at 2 o'clock, that both were available.
I saw that. Yeah, sorry. Both available. Apologies. I wasn't sure that if Ronan was available. So
yeah.
That Ryan was. Just on the game itself, Stuart, Robbie mentioned the kicking game and the fact that Leicester play very little rugby, or try to play very little rugby in their own half. Is that something you've focused on? And what other aspects do you feel are going to be key come Saturday?
Well, I don't think they don't play any rugby in their own half. They certainly put a big emphasis on the accuracy of their kicking game. Their kick chase is very effective. Their set piece is very effective. Their defence is very effective. But they've still got the ability to play with width. They've still got the ability to challenge defences in different ways. You saw at the weekend against Bristol. You don't get a scoreline like that without having a lot of tools in your armoury. Obviously, I know the halfbacks very well. I think they're all. Got 3 international quality scrum halves in my opinion. With Ben, Richard Wigglesworth, and Jack as well. Jack Van Portley, who's an outstanding young player. They've got to George and Freddie Burns at 10, who are both very, very well. Closely coached them both, so I know a lot about their strengths. And it's a question of us, going there and
and dealing with what they throw at us, but also we put in our game, Leinster's game on the pitch as well, because that's every team has its own identity, has its own way of playing the game. There's no right or wrong way, in my opinion, and but we want to go and put our stamp on the game. But we know that Leicester will be doing everything in their power to stop us doing that. So it'll be a fascinating contest from that regard.
Well, Robbie mentioned that you've put an emphasis on remaining patient. You obviously feel that this is going to be very, very tight, and it could really come down to that final quarter, whereby you just stick in the game, that Leinster experience and know-how at this level might see you through.
Yeah, but I think they've got a lot of experienced players themselves. They've as I said, you don't go to Clermont, Bordeaux and these places, and some of the games I've seen them win in the Premiership and not been able to stick in there. And one of Leicester's strengths is they've won a lot of games I've seen in the last 5 or 10 minutes, particularly in that middle block of the season. So patience is one thing, but playing with purpose and intent as well is another. So we need to have both in our armoury, I think. But yeah, it will be a game of fine margins. It's often at this level, which is akin to international rugby, really. It can come down to a piece of ill discipline. It can come down to a line out. It can come down to a maul. It can come down to a missed tackle. So, but that's why we train all season. That's why we want to be involved in these games. To put ourselves and test ourselves at the highest level. And this is definitely, in my opinion, the highest challenge we've faced this season.
Sure, thank you. Good luck at the weekend.
Hey Stuart, lovely to see you again. I hope you're well. Have you and Dan been on radio silence?
He's actually playing for the university this week, thankfully in the varsity match. So he's got his own game to worry about, fortunately.
I'm sure that you've been fascinated with the way that Steve Borthwick and the coaches and the players have turned things around at Leicester over the last 12 months. What struck you most about how they've done it?
I would say it's everything, really. It's everything from obviously the quality of the forward pack. The line out and the set piece is very effective. The accuracy and quality of their kicking game, their kick chase is very effective. Their work rate and ability to stick in games, physicality, and then also that ability to play the territory game, but also then play with width at the same time. As we showed the weekend in the Bristol game, and obviously the influence of Kevin Sinfield, and the influence he's brought. Obviously, I know Kev well, and I know the type of person he is and how he can inspire and motivate through his words, which you can see in the actions of the Leicester players in defence. So, they've when you look at weaknesses, there aren't many, and that's a credit to the coaching team that they've managed to recruit well, to reinvent the players who were already there when they took over, and to create the complete package that you've seen. And the Premiership as well as I do, and to go like they've done so far has been incredible, really, this season.
Are you excited about the tactical challenge? Because I know you look a lot at how the game is developing, how it might develop over the next few years. This business of either holding onto the ball or kicking it away. Where are we in that balance at the moment, do you think? With kind of reference to what we might see this weekend at Welford Road.
Well, I think as I said at the outset, I think you can win the game in lots of different ways, and that's one of the beauties of this game. It's not to say that we run it from everywhere and we'll never kick the ball, or we'll not try and drive a maul. You know what I mean? It's what we aspire to be is a team that can play the game in many different ways and pick the right tool out of the box at the right time. We want to be unpredictable and hard to prepare for. I remember a couple of years ago I did a presentation and there were 4 teams in the top 4 in the English Premiership. All 4 played different ways and all 4 on any given day could have won. So that's the beauty of the sport, I think. Like I say, I want to get away from the notion that Leicester just kick the ball all the time. Clearly it's a big part of their game, but I think they're more to them than that's for sure.
Great to talk to you again, Steve. Have a good week.
Okay.
Hi Stuart, how are things? Joe here from Virgin Media. How are you?
Good, thanks. Yeah, all good, Joe.
against Connacht the last day out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a step up from the away game, and that's the challenge for us, isn't it? We're not playing at the Aviva, we're not playing at home, we're playing away, you know, and you don't get second chances in this quarter-final, as you saw in the away game at Connacht, who Leicester struggled with as well, you know, on both occasions. How hard it is to win away from home in Europe, with that crowd and everything that comes with the game. So, yeah, I was pleased with the home performance, but equally, you know, I'll go back to the away performance and make sure that that's the one that's, in my mind, more relevantly, I think. Obviously, the tries we scored I thought were good. We were very good on transition, kick return, turning over the ball and attacking from there. But equally, we conceded a couple of soft tries as well, you know, and that's the type of stuff that Leicester feed off, you know, getting down into the red zone and coming away with points. So we need to be better in those areas for sure, both in the away leg and in the home leg. That definitely was an area that I'll be focusing on, have been focusing on as a defence coach.
You just said there a couple of minutes ago that Ronan Kelleher and Mike Baird are back in the squad now. They're back to full training. How much of an impact will they be? How much of an addition are they to the squad going? Because I would imagine the set piece will go a long way to determining whether this game is won or lost.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, selection-wise, there's a lot of options we have. You've got the lads coming back from South Africa who did well, who want to put their hand up. The lads who didn't go. But you're right. The set piece, you know, the scrum, the line out, who defends, in what way, will play a big part in the outcome of the game. That's for sure. And you know, we've still got to finalise our selection, but having those guys back in the equation, whether it be starting or from the bench, means that we've got good strength in depth to draw from. Equally, if I look at you know, Leicester's pack, for example, you know, they've got two great tight heads. Obviously, Montoya's playing exceptionally well, excellent at the weekend. You've got Genge, who's obviously international quality, you know, and the list goes on through the squad. You know, the quality of the second rowers, the back row power they have. Tommy Raphael, how good he's been recently. You know, Leicester are probably international quality in every position, really, in my opinion. And most of the players, if you look at them, are or have been international players themselves. So, you know, it's not dissimilar from our team.
And just finally for me, you've spoken about it yourself, and land's being made, and rightly so, of the prowess of the Leicester defence. What are you doing? What are you working on? I'm sure you're not going to give it.
Yeah, exactly.
What are the keys to unlocking it? What can you work on?
Yeah, there's always things. There's always ways in which you can work on creating problems for defensive teams. But you know, we focus obviously on the opposition, and we focus on you know, where we think there are opportunities. But equally, a big part of Leinster's success is the fact that we focus on ourselves a lot, and we drive a lot of the standards in training by being very, very good at what we do. And we work hard on the instruction part of the game, we work hard on the transitional parts of the game, we work hard on the set piece start of the game and the starter plays. And you know, I know Kevin will have them ready. You know, he's a quality coach, and I know the Leicester players will fight for everything, as we will. So we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, we will be very much focusing on ourselves in the build up to the game from now on.
Thanks, Stuart.
Last question, Michael Glennon, please. Thank you.
Yeah, just a quick one there. Is James Ryan available for selection? And presuming that technically and medically he's fit, was there any extra care needed about someone who'd had so many concussions, about any mental issues he may have had?
No, I mean, he's available. He's trained. He's had a graduated return to play. Obviously, a lot more extended than you'd normally give a player, given the fact, obviously, it was a while ago when he left the field the last time. But no, he's good. He's training well, and yeah, he's in the mix.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm delighted to extend with Leinster in Ireland. It's been a great few years, for me personally and for my family and for the whole squad as well. It's been an enjoyable couple of seasons, and I suppose that reflects in how we're playing in the Six Nations, in the November series before that. So it was a relatively easy decision to extend and stay, and even here in Leinster, you see the last 2 weeks. I suppose the development path that the club has taken in investing in homegrown young players coming from the academy. It's really bright here, and I think both squads will grow in over the course of the next few years, and it's a really exciting time.
Can you talk about the challenge of playing a team like Leicester Tigers in the quarter-final of a competition you want to so desperately win?
Yeah, listen, it's probably one of the toughest draws for us. I think over there, Leicester away is it's going to be we're going to be going into their fortress, and I know they're a different team at home. Looking at them throughout the year, they're playing good rugby and they're top of the Premiership. So I think their record kind of speaks for itself within Europe. They beat Claremont away and at home. They're really firing on all cylinders, and for us it's going to be a massive test and probably one that we look forward to, and it's going to be a good game of rugby.
And just a final question for me, given the fact that it's a knockout game and the opposition and the fact that you're playing away from home, is there a kind of heightened sense of anxiety, is the word I'm going to use this week, in terms of the preparation for the weekend?
Yeah, I think, listen, everyone knows you can't slip up. There's no second chances at this stage of the competition, and we'll be looking back to how we did last year. And I know in this round in the quarter final we had Exeter and put out a good display, and then the following week was La Rochelle away, and we know what happened there. So I think we need to take one game at a time, but I think our sole focus is we have to go over there and really attack them, not sit back and see what happens. So it's going to be a good game, and it's going to be a physical battle.
Good man, thanks Robbie, it's good to see you, man.
Cheers, Michael.
Robbie, how are things? Just interesting from our team. Robbie, you'll have had a long, hard look at the Tigers at this stage. Where do you think their weaknesses as such lie, and where do you think you can exploit them?
I think it's we've had a long hard look. You're right. Over the last 2 weeks, the brand of rugby they play is kind of that kick pressure rugby. They don't play a whole lot of rugby inside their own half. So I think when it comes down to that kick battle, that's going to be key. The aerial battle, and being able to deal with that kicking threat. But I think we just need to stay patient, and stick to our systems as the phases go on, and we can manage to find some space and keep the ball. I think our brand of rugby should be good for us to break down their defence. So it's going to be, I think the key for us is to stay patient, because it mightn't be there, the opportunities mightn't be there as soon as we think it might be later on in the game, but we just probably need to be patient.
Just on the point of not having played this group of players since the second leg of Connacht, is there any risk associated with that? Leicester obviously have been stuck into the Premiership week in, week out. You don't think there's any risk of you being a little bit off it on the weekend?
I don't think so. I think we look back at the few games that we missed out with COVID stuff before or just after Christmas, and we missed one game in Europe, and then we came into Montpellier at home and Bath away, and I think from the work we did there, training, didn't have a game for a good few weeks, we came into that. So I think we're pretty positive in terms of how we prepared last week and this week for a really physical test. But no, I think the work we put in should stand to us over the last few weeks.
Yeah, well, Robbie, good talking to you, and go well at the weekend.
Cheers.
Hello Robbie, it's Nick Barnes here, really nice to see you, thank you.
Hi, Nick.
Just going back to that question about Leicester's kicking game. What's your specific role as a midfielder when they're banging them back at you, in terms of positioning and what you're thinking?
Yeah, well, we have to be one step ahead, because when that kick goes up, we know their kick chase is pretty aggressive. So my opposite number, up to the two opposition centres chase very hard, along with their wingers and their back rowers. So we need to be able to be ahead of them and win the race back for that kick to support, and then see what happens after that. And then on the flip side, we need to win that ruck if it's kicked down the middle, and be able to, obviously, if the kicker's in front of us, be able to pressure the kick. So there's a lot of things going on. It's probably work rate as well, just being able to, put the head down and turn and run, and make sure you're ahead of your opposite number.
It's interesting. So you're looking at your opposite number as much as you're looking at where the ball might be landing.
Yeah, absolutely. In a general sense, you don't want your opposition, passing you on a kick. So you'd be looking at that, and then looking at how you can see where the opportunity is as we gather the ball, if there's an option to run, or where the space is.
Could I ask you as well, finally, how the relationship with Gary has developed over the years? Do you have a WhatsApp group of two? What's the conversation like with you on weeks like this? Are you kind of constantly on the phone to each other chatting? How has that worked and developed down the years?
It's pretty seamless, to be honest. How we work together. I think there's a couple of old WhatsApp groups that myself, Gary, and Johnny might have had, discussing plays and whatnot. But no, it's just a one-to-one message here and there if anything needed to be chatted about. But no, we do a lot of our work in here in the morning, and when we leave the building, we take it up again the next day. So a lot is taken care of on the pitch as well. But I suppose that social relationship as well, and that connection off the pitch is also very important. To how we play on the pitch.
Great, thanks, Robbie.
Cheers.
Sorry guys, it's just Joe Coffin's trying to get in here, I think, so I'm just going to try to get him in here, I think. If I can, but I don't see him there. Oh, there he is. Hey Joe, are you okay there? Sorry, Robbie.
No worries.
Yeah, I am indeed.
Okay, Joe, if you want to take a question to Robbie very quickly, please, that'd be great. Thank you.
Hi Robbie, how are things?
Hi, Joe.
Just wanted to ask, in terms of coming off the back of that big win against Connacht, and having the 2-week delay between that and Leicester, what have you been doing to maintain the momentum within the group from that win and then into the next round?
Yeah, we've obviously with the dynamic of the couple of games in South Africa, as you know, a large a large amount of squad stayed here, and we prepped for Leicester, so we stayed back and have been training very hard, and be putting in the work here, looking at them, and just preparing and getting a lot of running done, getting a lot of physical work done. So yeah, it's kind of been like a mini kind of pre-season window as well, where we've topped up on our strength, topped up on our running, and got really quality work done.
Thanks, Willie, Robbie.
Cheers.
Okay, guys. Michael Glennon, just last one from the floor from you, if that's okay.
Sure. Thanks, Marcus. Hey, Robbie, how are you?
Hi, Michael. Good, thanks.
Yeah, good. We were just talking to Steve Ford. He said that Ollie Chesson, he was suspended originally, but he's done a World Rugby tackling course and he should be available for selection. I mean, have you done more work on that? Considering there's so much focus on the yellow and red cards, is it just a matter of saying to somebody, adapt, or is there a drill that you can do that will help you so you won't be sent on one of these how to tackle correctly courses?
Yeah, I think the onus comes down when you're in team training. It's very hard to drill it as well. it comes down to individual technique and being able to drop that your body height, because it's kind of evident now in every game. There's a yellow or a red, and it's so frequent now. It just, one kind of lapse in concentration and you can cost your team. So yeah, definitely it's down to the individual, and a lot of us do individual work pre-training and post-training, just making sure you're focusing solely on technique. And a lot of the times it comes in from a lapse in concentration, or when you're fatigued and you just maybe you go high because you're blowing and you're just not thinking. So yeah, it's just being able to just drop your body height, and everyone knows it now. It's so common, so it's all on us.